Skipper Drive Wise, and it's yours truly ranting on the road as I'm driving along, pointing out a few tidbits here and there. Sometimes it's funny. Some of y'all will get triggered, so be advised. But I know that the truth is being said. So it's good for your teenagers who are beginning to drive and get on the highway. They really should subscribe, have them subscribe to that channel and save their lives and others too. So I really ask you to promote that channel. Not for me, it's not. It's just I'm trying to help as many people as I can. It's really terrible out there. So just a little tidbit for you guys. And in that same vein of helping folks, I've always been in the crypto space, providing some type of advice and help. Again, we don't give investment advice. The only advice we give really for you all is to do your own research and to consult competent advisement from certified public accountants in your financial situation, or attorneys and things like that. There's a lot of things going on in crypto that you have to be very careful about. So please just don't go by YouTube videos or even my video. You go and do, consult people who are expert financial advisors, and to get your situation with, you got to be careful and never ever use your important funds, funds that I've seen people lose their retirement accounts. They just stop getting crazy. I mean, it's just like the drivers out there. You guys are really putting all of it on the line. You have to be very careful. There's always the sound advice is always just, if you're going to do it, put money that you really are not using, that you don't need. And I even gave you some advice the other day about free money. There is free money to use. You don't have to use your own money. And I proved it and showed you guys, and those who on Facebook and look at my wall there, you can find a link to Coinbase where you can get some free cryptocurrency. And just by watching a video like I'm doing now, making this video, you can watch a video and get some free cryptocurrency. It's something that you should really be doing. Why not? It's free. And if you put it in the right places or place, as I did, that free money, it can go up 10 times or more. So that's what I did, and that's what it did. So, hey, listen, and I'm waiting for it to go 100 times from the original free money to go 100 times, and then I'm going to do that video. I really expect it to do that. And from free money, come on now. So I'm, there's things that I'm going to tell you that, they're sensible. So, I just advise you guys to just think about them, sensibly. For free money, it's a no-brainer. You might as well do that. So that's free money. So you can't, if it's lost, it doesn't make a difference because it's free money. You didn't even sweat for it. So yeah, so that's the type of thing. But today we're going to talk a little about the atmosphere in crypto, what you should be expecting. I've always said the same things. I'll remind y'all that those who have watched my crypto videos from way back when I was doing them more, what would you say, more concurrently, I guess. You remember that I did say that the Bitcoin was going to drop. And the other thing, so I did do that drop, but I also said it would have another drop, a very large drop. And I'm not trying to say that that's what's going to happen now. I'm just saying I'm reminding you all what I said, because I can be wrong, and that's a good thing, because it's good for me to be wrong every once in a while. It doesn't happen that much, but it's a good thing. I feel alive. Yeah, I made a mistake. I'm human. I'm not an alien from a different place, as someone said that I was. So anyway, the as I remind you of that, so that you understand that things can happen. That's the reality in crypto, ups and downs. So Bitcoin had its down, and with it, most of the other coins also went down with it. So you have to understand that Bitcoin is the heart of cryptocurrency. That's the heart rate, the pulse. And when Bitcoin suffers and staggers, usually the other coins follow suit, because people get, oh, the big boy is a little wavy. That's definite going to be a problem for these other little guys. And that's exactly right. You have to understand that those what happens to Bitcoin, it ripples down. And I didn't mean that to imply some Ripple or XRP, so don't try to connect the dots, you guys out there. But it has a rippling effect on other cryptocurrencies, and that's absolutely. So bear that in mind. But again, Bitcoin is a big elephant. So also understand that there's somewhat um, of an investment physics involved in this space. I'm sure there's an appropriate investment term for what I'm referring to, but it's just that the volume, the amount of volume in Bitcoin makes it a big player. It makes it a big, heavy elephant, if you will. And when that elephant comes down, when the weight makes it come down of whatever is impacting it at any single time, it affects everyone else in the room, obviously. And then also the adverse is also true, that when Bitcoin is up and goes up and spikes up, and there's a rally with Bitcoin, the other coins tend to be sucked up into that vacuum, if you will, or that wave pulls them up as well. So be aware of that fact. But Bitcoin is an elephant, and the reason I used elephant is because it is weighty. Because it's weighty, it makes it more of a good, solid in place to put some income into, some money into that. Um, but it's an elephant; it doesn't fly. So you have to understand that whatever rallies can happen with Bitcoin in the short term, it's not going to be flying up to the moon. The issue about Bitcoin going to the moon, it's very tough to get an elephant to fly up, even to jump up that high, okay, or any amount of time, of distance. But even looking at it physically in the real world, how high can an elephant jump? Think about it. How high can an elephant jump? And use that in your thinking. Use it a little bit so you understand that, yeah, Bitcoin would be safer to put money into. But also, how high you really expect it to go, to jump? It can go high because it can climb up mountains. You know that, all right? Elephants can climb mountains, right? Hannibal knows that, right? He made his elephants go across the mountain, right, and get and move. But how long does it take for an elephant to do that? Is it going to jump up there overnight? At one time it was expected. I think everyone, or most people in the Bitcoin investor community, was they had that common wet dream, if you will, that Bitcoin's going to fly, it's going to moon. I haven't heard that moon for Bitcoin in some time, but because Bitcoin has graduated, it has moved into some serious investor participation, and that type of language, it's not something that those investors are really looking at. It's not amenable to serious investment either. When you're dealing with a currency or an asset that is becoming or has attained the quality of being a serious investment. They don't talk about Moon on that type of thing. Moon is related or more amenable to very high speculative assets or coins, even the meme coins. Those things can moon. It's something that can happen to frivolous types of investment where and a serious investor is determining where to put his money, and that can happen. But the risk, the percentile of how many meme coins, for example, like Doge and SHIB and whatnot, can do that. There's thousands of cryptocurrencies of different coins out there that have no hope at all of mooning. And Doge and SHIB were two of them. It just so happens that one in a million or one in 1,000 can and does. It happens. But to take that risk, one in 1,000 or 10,000, how many cryptocurrencies are there? You're taking a risk. There's risks in that, and then there's time involved. So understand what's happening in crypto. Don't go crazy chasing anything to the moon, because you're going to get disappointed. You have to do things with a brain, okay? The first problem, let me tell you what the first problem is. The first problem with most people investing in cryptocurrency is that you're desperate. That's the first problem. Your first problem is that you don't know how to make money. You don't know how to grow money. And you look at cryptocurrency as an easy way to make a lot of money. It's gambling. That's what gambling is. So you're turning something that really shouldn't be gambling at all, and you're making it a gamble. So it's inappropriate also for some people to look at cryptocurrency as gambling. The cryptocurrency itself is not gambling. It's the way people throw money into it. That's the gamble. So people are gambling with cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is not a gambling machine. It's simply the way people are doing it. You're doing it totally wrong. So you have to step back and do things carefully. Again, now free money, like you can get at Coinbase, if you follow the link that I put in my other video. I put it on my Facebook wall. It's just a post talking about joining Coinbase. You go and use that link. It helps me out too, right? So do a guy a favor and click on that link and join Coinbase. And that's free money. You can get free money, and that, you know what, if you want to throw that into the slot machine, there's nothing wrong with that, because it's not your money. It's not something you sweated for, and that you need to worry about. Just here, everyone, like what I did a test, because you guys know I always test things. I always do research and test things out. I say, hey, free money, okay? SHIB started at Coinbase. They opened up SHIB. Everyone's going nuts for the doggy. Boom. And that's it, because everyone's going nuts over the dog. So let's see how far we can take this dog. And that's that. So that's a different thing, because it's not my money. It's not money that I had and that I'm putting in. No, it was just, I saw a video and that was it, free. So that's all. I don't care about it. That's nothing that I cared about. So just throw it away. And that's what I did. It just so happens that it took off from there. And again, I'm watching it because it's just a test. It's just something that I would have wished that all my tests were like this, because I'll be, even more filthy richer today than I am. But that's the way it is. All right. So when you look at Bitcoin, just remember that that's the heavy weight, and the heavy weight does not jump and cannot jump that high, but it is a sure thing. Where it can go, it is sure. In other words, that's a more in the crypto space, it's the safest area. Not 100% safe, nothing is, but if you're going to say, well, which cryptocurrency is safer than all the others as an investment vehicle, the answer is obvious. Obviously, it's Bitcoin. Okay. Now, so if you're looking, but realize that in our, like for me, if you're young, it's a different matter because you got time to wait and sit and wait for Bitcoin to get as high as people may expect it to get one day. That's fine. Then that's your way to go, and you continue doing your things and pursuing your career, and and building up other things and investments for yourself in the real world. And that's great, and you can always put and fund your Bitcoin wallet, and your Bitcoin bag, as is referred to, continually throughout your life. You got time. But for people like us who are we're more over the hill than y'all are in the beginning of your hill. um, Bitcoin only represents in the short term, that means in the rest of my lifespan, uh, a doubling of your money. So right now, I'm going by the last all-time high ATH, and that means that Bitcoin I can expect in my lifetime to see $64,000 Bitcoin go up to $128,000. I can reasonably expect that within my lifetime. And basically, what does that mean? That if you put in $1 today in Bitcoin, in my lifetime, that dollar will become $2. That's all it means. I like to reduce things down so you can understand what's going on. It's just a doubling in this time period. Now, are there other places that you can put your money in to get a better return? Absolutely, but that's not guaranteed. Once you leave Bitcoin, you're getting into a little bit more higher risk. There's two things you need to look at when you are looking at other things other than Bitcoin. You need to look at the market capitalization. Usually, when you go to a place like coinmarketcap.com that gives you the lists of cryptocurrencies, usually the default listing is in the order of market capitalization, which means how much money have people put into this asset. And so the number one is always Bitcoin. That's the number one where everybody has their money in. Okay. So, and then from there, you see there's a big drop in how much money, but number two is there, number three, number four, and it keeps going down. But the top 100, more or less, is what you're looking at in terms of where most of the money in crypto is at right now. So you have to look at where the other coins that you're thinking about fall in relation to that Bitcoin. One, two, three, four, five, like that. If you want to mix your investing or your interest in crypto with as much safety as possible, number one safe place is Bitcoin. Then you have the second place and third place, and you have to look at really what those are. And then what you need to look at also is what is the potential. That's where you look at what the coin is, what are the tokenomics with the coin, what is the utility with this coin, what's the use of this coin, use cases. Is this something that people are going to be needing and using? Because those things, because Bitcoin, it doesn't apply to Bitcoin because just simply Bitcoin is the elephant in the room. It was number one, it was the first one, and that's that. But everything else really needs the other things, the NFT layers, the use cases, the exchanges, the way the coin is being used, what purpose, what future does it have. Then those considerations come more into play. Again, any coin can moon without any utility. We have Doge, we have SHIB that have gone up by high degree with no use on the planet, no reason for it, but it happens. But again, it would have been anyone's guess that it would pop. There was even one coin that was created as a joke, another joke, or a test by an entrepreneur, a young guy that I watch on YouTube, right? Biaza, I'll say his name, and he created for fun or to see, what happens. A coin. He just copied stuff, but it made it called fluff. And that coin, the community that went around that coin, even though they know he did it just to fool around, to show that anyone can make a coin, they really got behind that coin. That coin has increased substantially from when it was first, put on the chain. And that's, the rest is the story about that. Anything can pop, anything can, double, especially 20 times, even 1,000 times the money. But the problem with it is that it has no reason for it. It's just that people follow where other people are going and what other people are doing, and they see a little movement, and that desperation factor in the market is what fuels a lot of these rug pulls. Not that what his is a rug pull. He admits that what he created there easily could be a rug pull, easily, but his intention wasn't to do anything with it. He didn't even expect it to take off. He was just showing, making content for his YouTube channel, how easy it is to start a coin. Anyone could do that, and that's why you shouldn't invest in these little coins that don't mean anything. He even said it in his last video where he explained how well it did. So he's making changes to it to preserve, to keep his integrity up, and no one can accuse him. You put this and you set this animal loose over there. So he's fixing up the website to make it less of the joke that he was doing, and obviously to make it a teaching against investing in these types of coins, and let the community, because there are people who did put money into it. Not that he told them to. He said this is just a joke. Don't even buy this, but people still do it. Because why? Because they're desperate. People out there desperate to 10 times their money, to 100 times the money. Listen, and that's just one of the main points that I want to reiterate. More better than risking your money in crypto, learn how to put your money, how to make your money multiply. Learn how to grow your money. Crypto is not where to do it. I don't know, a lot of you guys are doing that. You're making returns. You're getting out. Some other people, unscrupulous people, are creating fake coins. In other words, that they're scam coins. Why? Not because the coin is a fake coin, because they're as much real as Bitcoin is. It's simply, but their intention is to take all the money that comes in and disappear. You said that's what makes a scam. You cannot tell a scam. There's no way that a person can look at something and say that's a scam. Whenever you see people saying this is a scam, that's a scam, there's no proof, there's no court case, there's no one saying that I got scammed by this guy. you know those people are foolish, and you're stupid for listening to that type of folk. Because what happens is that, what the real scams are. The real scams, you can't tell, because it involves the intent of the heart. What is the intention? Anyone can scam people if they intend to do it. It's not looking at, oh, this looks like a scam. This is no, 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 no. That's not what makes a scam. What makes the scam is actually the intention of the individual, and no one really can tell. See, so that's why you have to be careful, period, in how you make your investment, how you approach the crypto space. Simply. And so, again, if you don't want to risk any of your money at all, you can still be in crypto. You go to Coinbase, get free money, watch some videos, and that you can then play with. You're not risking any of your money, everything is safe. But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to do the video, because from a $30 free that I got from watching some videos, and the coins that they give you for free, I just let it sit there for a little while, became $30, and then they opened up SHIB on Coinbase, and I threw it there over there in SHIB right away, all of it. Boom, sold it and put it into SHIB. That went up 10 times. And I really expect it to go up another 10 times and make it 1,000 times. That I'm going to do that video when that happens. That'll be exciting. Not that I'm saying it's going to happen. I'm not telling you go out and get shit. No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that when or if and when it happens, I'm going to make that video. Free money. So that if anyone is interested in getting into crypto, you can do it. It doesn't cost you a dime. It's the sweetest thing of all. This is a wonderful thing. Anyway, but if you're going to spend some of your money that you can live without, put it at risk, then understand that when you look at Bitcoin, you're looking at doubling the money in a relatively, and I guess in the next couple of years at best, at best, or at most, not at best, because at best it can happen tomorrow, and it could happen anytime. But double the money. That's as much as I expect the elephant to be able to jump. Now, eventually, over time, they can climb mountains. The Bitcoin will be able to climb mountains. It can eventually get to $1 million, but I'm not waiting for that. I'm not holding my breath for that. But it can double money. So that I can see. And that I would tell you all, if you're looking just simply, you'll be happy with doubling X amount of dollars, then the safest bet is Bitcoin. After that, you have some other good contenders, which if you look at the charts, and I'll be wrapping this up, if you look at the charts, you will see that there's some other coins that even while Bitcoin was going down, this recent downfall, they were doing great. They were holding their own and actually pulling upward. So you have to look at that. One of those coins is was the BNB, by the way. BNB, as opposed to Ethereum. Ethereum did go up. Ethereum is, and I'm going to talk about Ethereum right before I end, but Ethereum is very interesting. What's happening now? Something is happening now that is very interesting, and that I'm going to talk about. But the BNB at this point, I mean, we're talking about a different chain, right? It's not Ethereum. It's not on Ethereum. It's a different chain. It's a competitor. Also know what the coins are. There are competing blockchains, main blockchains. BNB is one of them, right? And so it's a competitor for Ethereum or to Ethereum. But the interesting thing about BNB, while Bitcoin is suffering, BNB is really pushing forward and it's pushing upward. There's a lot of negative, or at least a lot of coins and a lot of these fake coins that are using BNB. That has nothing to do with BNB itself, but it is helping BNB in a sense to be strong because of all this activity going on. Same thing like Ethereum. Ethereum was the first one to have the NFT layers, and to be able you were able to build coins using Ethereum as the chain itself, and so that also has helped Ethereum to go be where it's at now, and the placement that it's enjoyed for quite some time. But BNB is a challenge to that as we speak. Now we hear that Bitcoin has also initiated a layer with it. Again, I think it's the second or third try that they do it. I think this one was successful. There's people developing now that secondary that layer for NFT type of application, DeFi and stuff like that. So there'll be interesting developments as we see it come along. Those things may indeed make Bitcoin, start flying a little higher. So we'll see how that happens, how that changes the factors that we're looking at. But BNB, as I was saying, again, what will happen when Bitcoin jumps up to its doubling? Coins like Ethereum and BNB will also jump. The issue here, though, is that BNB more than Ethereum, and that's my opinion now when I'm stating, BNB has more of an upper space. So that's the other thing you have to look at. because it's lighter. It's lighter than Bitcoin in terms of the presence in the space, and it's lower, meaning that it's easier for someone to buy. I mean, for every Bitcoin you can buy 100 BNB. See, so that makes a difference when BNB goes up, when all the market goes up, and you have 100 of this coin as opposed to one Bitcoin. Again, one Bitcoin represents to you a doubling. But if it's BNB, what does it represent? How high can BNB go? So my argument is that since it's a lighter coin, it's not the big elephant, it can go higher with the same force that Bitcoin needs to go just to double. So that's my point, is that if you're looking at different things to put money into that is not Bitcoin, then also you have to look at how much space the coin has to go up, and, how does it have? How much gravitas does it have? Because the gravitas is what keeps it grounded and not flying, immensely up to the heavens. BNB seems to have some good buoyancy to it, that it is able to go up when Bitcoin is still down. And so you need to watch that. You need to look at that and appreciate what BNB is doing. And I'm not suggesting you go out and buy BNB, just to look and learn, get the feeling of what BNB and other similar currencies are doing in relation to what Bitcoin does. So as you see the relationship and the potential. Bitcoin, again, when I look at Bitcoin, I got double the money. That's it. I don't look at 5 times or 10 times. Oh no. But when I look personally, when I see BNB and I see what it's doing, I can see BNB when Bitcoin goes up. I can see BNB, tripling and quadrupling, more easily able to do that. Not that it will, but it's easier for BNB to go 4 times, 5 times higher when Bitcoin can only do 2 times at best in the short term. So the question is, what should you do in relation to one thing or the other? And again, I'm just using BNB as an example. So if you're looking for better returns or higher returns in a lesser time frame, and you have the money to like throw throw away, you're not, again, it's not your retirement account or anything, this is just extra money, then things like BNB are really interesting to look at, to give it some consideration. Because if Bitcoin goes up twice, 2 times your money, BNB may do more, may do 3, 4, 5, like that. And maybe even just like the 3 or 4's like pushing it, but it has the potential of doing that when and or while Bitcoin can only go up 2 times, in other words, double your money. So what you have to, the smart thing to do is really to have Bitcoin as your main or your principal anchor of safer investment in the crypto space, and then to leverage the rest of your funds in appropriately into more quality, but secondary and tertiary, secondary, third, and fourth quality, or in terms of market and utilization, what you think and you feel this is a good utility, and this has a future, and this can happen. But and when Bitcoin goes up, I really feel, looking at the history of it, although that's not an indication, but more or less it's behaviors, right? That in the past, when Bitcoin went up, this one went up by 3 times or 4 times. So you need to look at that. You make the comparisons. I'm not going to tell you what they are. You look at it, you get the feeling for it, and then separate your dollars wherever you're putting them appropriately, so to reflect, at least this goes up twice, I'm good, I'm fine with Bitcoin going up and doubling my money, I'm happy with that. And if this goes up two times, two is good, three better, four even greater. So that's the way you have to look at it in terms of closeness to Bitcoin, in terms of safety, Bitcoin being the safest of all of them. And then, but again, the returns will be lower but more solid in the short term and may be greater in the long term. But again, these are decisions you have to make. And I always consider age, your age, and your purpose. If you want to leave something as a nest egg for 2 or 3 generations from now and just lock it up, then that's something. Bitcoin is where you go for that. That's obviously Bitcoin in 2 or 3 generations will be hideous, right? So then do that, but if you're looking at something that you're going to enjoy the benefit of in the short term, then you have to be a little more strategic, a little more aggressive, slightly, and taking a little bit more risk in choosing the coins that are not in the top tier, and realize and see which ones are behaving a little bit more uppity when it comes to Bitcoin going up. So that's the type of thing that I will be looking for. Look at the last time. You can open up two charts, right? You take Bitcoin and you open up another chart and to compare it. I usually have this in my software that I've created, and I'll let you guys know about that when I update that software, because I'm in the process of doing that, so that you can make the comparisons between Bitcoin at 1 month and one point in time with the way that other acted in that same time period, so that you can see and compare behaviors and see the percentage of increase. So let's say that Bitcoin went up 2 times, but this coin went up 3 times when Bitcoin went up 2 times. These are the type of things you want to see, because then you can start figuring out, well, I'm going to make the investment in this manner with this kind of order. I've also put together a workshop that it's called HODL, by the way, and it gives you a template. Not that you have to follow it to the T, but just like I'm doing now, it gives you some idea of how to envision your portfolio in a way that makes sense for you and that can produce for you returns according to your liking, and the best way possible. Obviously, the first thing, depending on your safety, your degree of safety that you require, would most probably be Bitcoin for most cases. In some cases, not, but in most cases, Bitcoin would be your starter and principal anchor in terms of investment. For other people, would be Ethereum, actually. So let me finish off with talking about Ethereum. Ethereum, when Bitcoin first started to really take off and whatnot back, a couple of years now, Ethereum was a solid 10% of the value of Bitcoin. It was running 10% with Bitcoin, and you can really, at that time, if you did any technical analysis, you could really bank on the fact that if Bitcoin went up, to 6,000, Ethereum was going to be at 600. It was going faithfully at the 10% clip to whatever Bitcoin was doing. Then when Bitcoin started to pull away, it started gaining up 25,000 and started to break up into the higher, tens of thousands of dollars. It's Ethereum could not keep up with it. Ethereum could not keep up with it. It could have been a shift then in the investor community to more towards into Bitcoin. As Bitcoin seemed, it looked like it's just an opinion of mine that people thought that Ethereum could outdo Bitcoin before, but then when they saw Bitcoin really pulling away, they said, "Oh, I better get my money and put into that Bitcoin." So it looks like it give me the feeling that that's a little bit of what happened there. And so for the longest, Ethereum stopped keeping up pace at 10% from Bitcoin. If you go way back into my videos on my CBH Global My CBH network on YouTube, you'll find the case studies, crypto case studies still there, and you will see that I said that way back in the day. So anyway, so what's happened now though, to end this video, what happens now is that now Ethereum is actually catching up. It's a little bit of the dip with the Bitcoin, but Ethereum has been pushing for upward.
and fighting to get up there. And it's right about now. It's not yet 10%, but it's so my. It's like, man, it's just so close. And it'd be interesting with the developments in Ethereum if they can just get that gas thing settled, get some Pepto Bismol or something. Uh, it looks like that they can regain a good 10%. If they can do that, that'll be slamming because it'll make Ethereum a viable or more easier decision for many folks to really put some money, serious money into Ethereum. Okay, so yeah, the telephone is going through some high temperature issues. All right, so that's what I wanted to point out at this time. That you guys take consideration of that that the Ethereum is really pushing up and getting up high there, almost to the 10%. That's what I would be looking for to make Ethereum a real serious um, investment challenge for investment dollars. Not that it'll challenge Bitcoin, but for the investing dollar, it will make it a very good double whammy in terms of doing Bitcoin and Ethereum essential. That's what would be my comments at that time if that should be what happens. That you do actually that both become a very good solid investment at the same degree. But until then, it's just slightly, it's almost there. So it's again, it's a personal decision that you guys make if you're going to consider Ethereum as a very solid second or a very loose second as I see it now. Okay, but it's catching up, and if it attains that 10% and stays there a little while, 10% of Bitcoin, then Ethereum would have, for me, as far as Ethereum goes, it would have achieved a good spot again, and then the game begins. Then you can see what happens from then on. But that and then BNB looks very, very interesting for the immediate future here coming up. Just take a look at it. It's just simple. BNB because of its potential and in terms of SaaS, I'm referring to the weight, right? Because there's other coins, there's like Solana, there's a whole bunch of other coins that have also great potential, but then you get into more risk. It's more risky. But as the way I see it right now, BTC, Ethereum loosely and almost catching up to a very solid second option that can even get together with Bitcoin in terms of investor, considering the two as almost the same, different valuation, but the same expectation of ups and downs and correlation. That's what I'm talking about, correlations. And then BNB seems to be, three main coins that you should look at and analyze well. And just to position within a scope of possible things that you do. Everything else is more risky, absolutely more risky. But that's again your personal decision what you want to do. Some of them will be great money makers for you, but again, given the parameters that I've already discussed. Take care. My time to go, and I'll see you guys later on.